Yeah.
do the role, and a good leader will recognize the people that are actually doing the work. And
Yeah.
sometimes I think that needs to shift. I see a lot of
Yeah,
that in my business.
you're absolutely right. The people that shout the loudest generally are not always the ones that should be leading. And the ability to recognise strength in others is such a valuable leadership trait, isn't it? And if
Yeah,
you're not doing that as a leader of an organisation, you're missing out, and your performance as an organisation will suffer. And it's the ability, isn't it, to step back and scan the
yeah,
room, um,
yeah,
and that's vitally important. I completely agree with you. But until such time happens. And if you're in an organisation where you haven't got a leader like that, then you're going to have to be the one to make yourself visible, in their tunnel vision, put
yeah,
yourself in their tunnel. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I think, recognising the strength in others is important and pushing those people forward. A strong leader will have people ahead of them. They'll be pushing people ahead of them. They don't need to always be at the front. And I think that's quite a powerful thing, utilising the strength of others. If you go back to kind of rugby analogy and actually mentioning Rocky Clark, who you chatted to on your podcast, I remember there was a couple of games where at half time, we weren't quite there, and I'm like, you know what, my halftime chat is not going to cut it a little bit more. Jay, I was like, Rocky, can you do the halftime chat? And the words I would never repeat, but how she said it was absolutely spot on. And, didn't necessarily make me a weak leader because I felt that I can do it at a time. It makes you a strong leader because you recognise when you need other people and what they can do. And yeah, in an ideal world, all organisations would be led by someone who could see the strength in others and could see those that are not shouting the loudest. And, but perhaps with the clutter of daily life, with, the pressure that some, leaders are on in organisations, that's not always possible, isn't it? And, I guess it's the ability of people to recognise whether they do need to make themselves a little bit more visible or not. And if they do, that's okay. Do it.
yeah, yeah. Um, going on to where I mean, obviously, I'm dragging on. I know taking up a lot of your time. Could you tell us what you're doing now, and the business that you're building up now?
Yeah, so prior to teaching, so in 2014, I was working for the RFU at the point, and I was going to lots of different rugby events, and I was listening to lots of speakers, male speakers, and more male speakers, which are very good. Like, loved it. But I just sat there and like, women can do this as well. And so I set up a platform called Inspiring Women, and primarily a speaker agency. So I got lots of different women from sort of mainly sport, adventure backgrounds, and they were going out into corporate schools, other organisations, telling their story. 2020, COVID obviously happened, impacted it, and that kind of led to my decision to go into teaching. But I have left teaching. Partly inspired by the Women's World Cup in the summer, and I was like, there's still a need for this platform. I hope that. Uh, Before I get to retirement age, there's no need for a female specific platform for public speakers because there'll be, loads of women out there telling their story. Um, but that's what I'm doing now. So Inspire Women, I'm relaunching the speaker agency, and offering sort of coaching for other women generally wanting to go into public speaking, whether already doing it or want to do it, from sports world or corporate world, and a few other little business ventures that will all come under the in kind of Inspiring Women umbrella. But yeah, right now relaunching the speaker agency. So watch this space.
We're watching. We're watching.